G'day guys, Dom here. So before I start the video, I gotta say a huge thank you to all the guys that bought stuff on my website over the last couple of days. For those who don't know, I kind of did like a sale thing, I guess. I pretty much just went through my junk drawer and found all the half-finished knives that I hadn't gotten around to finishing yet. And I, did simple finishes like acid stone washers, and wrapped handles. And I banged them on the website, and you guys love that shit. You bought them out in like 2 days, and I really appreciate that. And all of those knives have been in the post and have been shipped, and they should be there soon. I've been praying to Australia Post, and hopefully it'll get there within like a few days, because at the moment it's a little bit slow because, Christmas and all that. But hopefully it should be there soon, and you've got a tracking number in your email, so everything's good. Anyway, I do have one knife on the website still, and I'm going to show you that now because I don't have anything else to show pretty much. So, first up, I made this knife about 6 months ago. It's been on the website for a while and nobody seemed to have wanted it. So yeah, hopefully it'll go before Christmas because I've had it for a while and it's at a pretty good price. First up, sheath, nice solid retention. And this thing is pretty much one of the best sheaths I've ever made. I mean, this thing will go flying. I had this at the Sydney Knife Show and I'd literally, when I was bored, I'd get people to catch it and I'd fire this at them and they try and catch it. And if you get it right, you get the right angle, this thing will go flying for a few meters. And it's solid at all the edges around it as well, so it's a nice quality Kydex sheath. So the steel is D2 on this one. That's been acid washed because D2 just loves to get acid washed. It's chisel grind because it's me. Nice deep aggressive grind. Weird little swedge. I don't know why I did it that way. Just it's an aesthetic thing, and I don't know, I quite like it. A little bit of a change up from the normal way of doing swedges like this. Chisel grind, you got the decorative 3 holes here. Nice crisp maker's mark. You can see the stone wash on top of the acid etch. Just to give it a bit more texture, a bit more character, I guess. The spine has been rounded, so is this in here. Everything pretty much that's not sharp has been rounded on this knife. It is nice and sharp. And I know it's going to be hard to believe, but I was prepared this time. I knew, I'm going to show you knives on camera, I should probably have phone book paper nearby, so people know I'm not bullshitting them. And now it's not going to cut, I bet you. Ah, fuck. Yes. It cuts phone book paper pretty well. And if I can, as long as I don't cut my arm off. If I'm going to cut my arm off, you're going to see it live on YouTube. And it shaves, so shaving sharp, cuts paper, does all that good shit. Onto the handles, we have OD green up top, toxic green down here, with black liners, just to tie it all together. Anyway, feels nice in the hand. Got a nice Anzo pattern in here that's been heavily sandblasted. And I think the colour on this is why it hasn't sold, because it's just a weird combination of things. It's got a hawk bill on there, which people don't really like so much. It's got the weird swedge. It's got the weird colour combo. It's D2, which isn't so popular, because, it's not the newest super fancy bullshit. So I don't know, it's probably the combination of that why it's still on the site, but it'll sell eventually. I'm not really worried about that, and it'll just sit there until it does sell. It's got it's also got this nice little lanyard bead I made as well for it, just because I can. But yeah, this is pretty much this is very much my style, very much, weird shit put together on a knife. On to the next one. This is something I finished up for a client this week. The blade is a bead blast stonewash to dull it down a little bit. So it's got this really nice durable finish that helps disguise scratches really well. It's got a nice thin grind, so it cuts like a motherfucker. And that tip is just slightly reinforced. Not too much, but enough to give you a little bit more strength so it doesn't break off in 2 minutes. It's also got a guard, which I don't typically do. It's not really in my design language all that much, so I tend to avoid it. But the guy asked for a guard the guy asked me for a guard, and this is what I came up with. Nice and small. And you've got plenty of protection here. You're not going to bring your hand up and over this guard. You've got more than enough protection for almost anything. Now, if you're going to go fighting and fencing in the street, yeah, you probably want a normal big massive guard with quillions and all that sort of shit. But for normal civilian tasks, this is more than enough. The handles are black canvas micarta that have been with a matching stonewashed hardware, and OD green liners because G10 just makes everything more solid. That's one of the brilliant things I like about G10. You can put it on almost anything to reinforce it. Like, you could get toilet paper, just layer that shit up, and as long as you got a G10 liner under there, that shit's gonna stay. I mean, I love G10. I'd eat it if I could. I probably have as well, which isn't great because this stuff gets everywhere. So yeah, nice plain little knife. I still got to do a lanyard. I'll probably do that after the video ends just to dress it up a little bit before it goes out. And last up, and probably the most dressed up of all three, I have a DB Kwaiken Gen 2. The Gen 2 is just a little bit less curved, and the Gen 2s also come with a compound grind standard. And this one here has got a flat ground tip and a big, nice, fat hollow for the main belly. Yeah, it's kind of sharp right now. Once I get it back from leather work, it'll be a lot sharper. I'm going to take this and I'm going to hit it on the Japanese waterstones and bring up the edge just a little bit and give it that really nice, shiny, polished edge that just shaves like crazy. I mean, you'll have no problem shaving your balls with this. Nice aggressive grind. Chisel grind again, so you have that nice, deep, defined grind line. It's flat on the back, you know, it's me, I like chisel grinds. Round it off again. And the handle is a purple underwrap with a copper manuki. They're copper manukis on both sides, and they've both been hammered to give that little texture there. You can see the hammer marks in here. And I've actually, one thing I do with my manukis whenever I do them is actually raise them up a little bit more this way, so you got more of a swell higher up in your hand, and that just gives you a more comfortable handle, and it's just more ergonomic and natural feeling in your hand. And the overwrap is sort of a I call it a katana wrap, but it's not really. It's sort of a bastardized version of the traditional wraps they have on katanas. That's like tan something, some Japanese thing that I can't remember or pronounce. Nice long handle on here, but it's a good solid little knife and a great little collector's piece. I actually had one of these for myself for a while until I sold it, and I quite liked it. Had it around the shop and cut all kinds of shit with it. So that's pretty much it. If you want to look at more stuff I did this week, have a look on Facebook and Instagram, that sort of stuff. I did a couple of folders and that sort of stuff there as well. I just didn't have it around for the video. So we've got one more build video coming out this week. It's all filmed. I just have to turn this 3 hours of me cursing into like a 20-minute chunk of slightly less cursing. Anyway, thanks for watching the videos, and I'll see you on the next one.